After you've primed the helmet and it's ready for paint, you want to have a smooth finish. You want to wet sand the primer with 800 1000 sandpaper in the end to get real good smooth surface for the paint. What I did with the face mask, I used rattle cans. Like I said, I got the gunmetal gray in a rattle can. I also asked them to mix the Toyota 202 in a rattle can for me. So I started painting the helmet with the gunmetal gray, masking off the areas that are not supposed to be black, because for you who don't know it, the Vader helmet, the face mask, is in two color. It is in black and gray. The reason for it, maybe in the days they were making the movies, I think they found out a complete black helmet, you couldn't see it on tape or on film. So they highlighted the helmet so it would be more visible, not a just black blob. So after you masked it, paint the black color, remove the mask, then you're ready for the clear coat. And that was the part for me that I wanted to do well, and I tried to get as much info as I possibly could before I started painting it with a clear coat. And you don't want to rush in and just paint the helmet, cover it real well and hope for the best. What you want to do is to spray the helmet with at an angle. You don't want any mist going on the surface you just painted. So I put my helmet on a mount, and I started at the bottom, worked my way up, always trying that not to get any overspray on the part I was painting. So I began by painting it going upwards, working my way from the bottom, and then I started my way from the top. Then you get all the areas covered, and you want to pay attention to the sides. You want to go well to the sides because you want that covered as well. The first coat, you want to do it lightly. You want to get an even coat, not a heavy coat, but an even coat. Wait 10 minutes and do a second, and try to do a heavier coat. And it has to dry for 24 hours. If you have any runs in the paints, I did have a run somewhere here and way back here, which is covered by the dome, so I wasn't spending any time fixing it. But you can sand the drop down or the run. You can sand it down and go with it with a rubbing compound. I'll explain later. That way I got a nice finish. It's glossy and it's perfect. It has some dust particles in it, but the shape of the helmet and lines, you can't even tell. So nothing of that is bothering me. The dome, however, that was a different task. I used black color with the clear coat in it. So I started off by painting the underside, and then I did the other half, turned it around and covered it from the other side, and always starting from the top. Try to, like I said, do the first coat. You want to cover the helmet. Wait 10 minutes, come back and do a heavier coat. Try to avoid runs in the paint, but like I said, I was doing it for the first time, so I got some runs in the paint. So that was another challenge I had to get some info on. So I talked to the guys in the industry. I found a dealer who deals with McGuire's automotive paint, not paints, polishings and stuff. They were real experts. They were real informative. What they told me to do with the runs, I bought something called Siaski set, which is basically it's this guy here. You hold it. It has a strip of sandpaper on it, and it has paper from 180 grit, 400 grit, 1200 grit and 2000 grit. So if you have something really heavy you have to sand down, you use of course the lower number, but you have to gradually work your way up. This guy, that sandpaper just goes like this. It has Velcro, so it is in place. Wet sand the droplet. You want to wet sand it, or the run that you want to fix. You have to wet sand it, because that just gives it a smooth surface to work on, and you get great results. What you want to do, you basically want to destroy the gloss finish. You want it matte. It turns out to be matte when you sand it. You don't want to go through the paint, through the primer, so you have to be careful. When the lines are gone, it's smooth, but it's matte. You're done. Just finish it with 2000 grit, 2500 grit in the end. That's perfect. After that, you use rubbing compound. This one is a little. This one is a little bit finer than this one. This one's coarser. So you can do it with a polishing machine, or like I did my dome. There were spots that had some runs in it and some dust particles. So I sanded them down. I didn't have a polishing machine then. I of course bought it after that. So I took a cloth and the polishing, the rubbing compound, and worked as hell on it. You have to heat up. You have to heat up the clear coat. You have to heat up the paint. When it heats up the paint, there's a chemical reaction, and you get that finish, that glossy finish we want. Most of this helmet was, after I've been sanding it, most of it was matte. It had no glossy finish on it, but like you can see, it's pretty much glossy. If you put polish on it, I have something was recommended to me, and it gave great results. The dome is of course covered in fingerprints at the moment, but the guy at McGuire's